like.
Gonna need all I can get, so I turned it on.
Put them all on.
They are.
No, we're still one road, I'm passing.
Under there.
Oh. Well, there's people here.
First time.
So we're actually, we're live. We're going to start in just a moment because we have now gone live on Facebook. So we want to welcome everybody who's here. We want to welcome everybody who is there on watching on telephones and iPads and computers. Who knows what other devices they have. But we do have a lot of people in a lot of places that are here. So on one hand, this is a tremendous challenge. We have everybody is got masks, hand sanitizer. I'm going to put my mask back on when I'm not talking. But this is really special for Lacie. She really wanted to make sure that she could celebrate her bat mitzvah without any more delays and any more rescheduling. And as we hope people are taking care of themselves and are doing what they need to do to stay safe and healthy, that we also need to do some things that give us a sense of joy, a sense of what life is all about. And this celebration today is definitely part of that. So we're really grateful that Lacie pushed ahead and her family supported her and wanted her to be here today for this. And so, Lacie, you have people watching and participating kind of around the world, right? You have friends that are watching in Korea.
Yeah.
And you have family and other special people that are watching from maybe around the corner, couldn't be here, but we're really glad that everybody could be here today. We've been very careful here in the sanctuary. We've had only one other time we've even come in here over the last 4 months, and all the prayer books you have, none of them have been touched in the last 3 months since the beginning of March, and then we're going to put these away and put them away for about another 2 months and rotate them accordingly. We also have hand sanitizer and we have masks, and if anybody doesn't have a mask, I know we have some extra ones too. So please stay safe, and we don't want anyone to get sick at any time, but especially here at a special function like this. And so we're so grateful that everyone is here together with us. We're going to begin in our prayer book, and again, you can follow along. Even if you don't know Hebrew, you can follow along with our prayers with the transliteration. We're going to start on page 16, Cantor.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Motto Vu, which is one of our special prayers of bringing people together. How special our sanctuaries, our places of prayer, our homes. And again, even when we have to make special accommodations, and as we do now, they are holy places. What's really special about this prayer that we're about to sing, that we're about to open with, is that it actually comes from the Torah portion that this lovely young woman is going to be reading from Parshat Balak. It's from Numbers. Motto, how beautiful are our homes, our sanctuaries, the places where we gather together. So you'll find this prayer in the middle of page 16 from this week's portion.
Lie, lie, la, 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 la. Lie, 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 la, 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 la. Lie, la, 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 la. Lie, 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 la, 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 la. Ma tovu ahalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Lie, lie, la, 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 la. Lie, 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 la, 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 la. Va'ani berov chasdecha avo beitecha. Lie, lie, la, 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 la. Lie, 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 la, 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 la. Eshtachavel hecha kashecha beiratecha. Lie, lie, la, 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 la. Lie, 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 la, 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 la. Now, Lacie, not everyone was singing. Is it okay if I teach them the words at all? Okay, so repeat after me. Lie,
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 lie.
lie.
Here we go. Lie, lie, la, lie, 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 la, la, lie, lie, la, la, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Not yet. Lie, lie, la, lie, 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 la, lie, 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 la, lie. Better. Lie, 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 lie. Shabbat shalom.
I think everybody needs to sing a little bit louder so we can hear you through the mask.
Not to be it yet.
So, we're going to present Lacie with a talit, with a prayer shawl now, a talis. And we want to call up, her parents are going to present her a talis. So, Deborah, Greg, if you come up.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher mikol Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitchayin b'mitzvah v'tivanu lahit atah b'tzitzi.
Amen.
The bottom of page 16, we take a moment to say Shachianu as we thank God for preserving us, for keeping us in life.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
On page 18, Lacie's going to lead us in the Ashrei, which goes on to the top of page 19, and she'll lead us in this. We'll do the alternating lines with her in response. Ashrei.
Ashrei ha'am shekach lo, Ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Elohav.
Tehillah leDavid, aramim ha'Elohai ha'melech, ba'avar ha'shim ha'le'olam va'ed.
V'chol yom avarkecha, v'alala shimcha le'olam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai u'kulo me'od, v'li gdulato ein heker.
Dor l'dor yeshavach ma'asecha, u'gvurotecha yagidu.
Hadar kivavotecha, v'divrei nifleotecha asicha.
Ve'ezus norotecha yomeru, u'gvurotecha asafrena.
Zecher avtucha yabi'u, v'sidkatcha yaranenu.
Hanun v'rakum Adonai, erech apayim u'gal chesed.
Tov Adonai l'kol, v'rahamav al kol ma'asav.
Yoduk Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yevarchucha.
Kevod malchucha yomeru, u'v'rancha yedaberu.
Lehodia lifnei hadam gevurotav, u'kvod hadar malchuto.
Ha'mahu kol olamim, u'mem shoptecha, v'chol dor v'ador.
Somech Adonai l'kol hanoflim, v'zokech l'kol ha'kfufim.
Einei kol Elohai yaseberu, va'atanu tim lehem et achlam be'ito.
Poteach et yadecha, u'masvia l'kol chayratzon.
Satik Adonai bechol derecha, v'hasib bechol ma'asav.
Karov Adonai l'kol Torah, l'kol asher ykru be'emet.
Retzon yira al v'aseh, ve'et sha'atam yishma ve'yishiem.
Shomer Adonai et kol ha'ava, et kol ha'sha'im yashmid.
Tehillah Adonai edebe'epi, v'yirem kol basar Shem, kashol le'olam va'ed.
V'anachnu nevad
So as we continue now, we're going to turn back to page 12 for the Chatzi Kaddish for the Reader's Kaddish, which will take us into the Amidah prophets.
יתגדל ויתגדל שמי רבה, יעמד יברכי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קרוב ויאמרו, יהי שמי רבה מבורך, מעל עולם מעלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו.
As we continue now on page 13, we're going to ask everyone to rise for the Amidah for Shabbat. And we're going to ask everyone to join us on the first page, page 13 together. And then we're going to continue silently with the Amidah on pages 14 and 15.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, Chasei Avot v'Imaot, U'mei Bigulalim B'nehem, Leman Shemot v'Ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Mageh, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Yitzchak Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah, Rab LaHoshia, Mechokel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim B'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, U'Mido Melech, Melech Mimit U'Mechayem, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Emanat Al-Chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol.
When you come to the end of your silent prayer, you can be seated.
Top of page 15, a prayer for peace. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. זה טוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. And right halfway down near the bottom, Oseh Shalom. You can't have enough prayers for peace. Oseh Shalom bimroma, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, al kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imiru. Amen.
So now as we come to the Torah service, the part of our service where Lacie's going to be reading from the Torah, and it's very special for us to have a new generation read from the Torah. She's going to talk a little bit about the portion that she's reading from, Parshat Balak, in a little bit. But this is a part of the service where we're going to call up some very special people in Lacie's life. And so when we're going to open up the ark in a moment, the ark just behind us, we're going to call up very, very special young woman, Sadie, who's going to open the ark for us. And she's going to open the ark. Our Torah service continues on page 28. And on page 28, you can find the prayers that we're going to say when we open up the ark. And Lacie's going to come around with the Torah scroll for everybody to come close to. And so at this point, you're going to see people normally, when she goes around, you're going to see people who normally reach out and touch and kiss the Torah. But for our consideration of people's health and safety, we're going to have people just kind of imagine that you're coming that close to the Torah. But she's going to walk around and then come back up with the Torah and read from it. So this is a really special part of our service, and we're going to call up some people to help us with this. But first, Sadie's going to help us on page 28, the words that we say when we come close to the Torah. When we open up the ark, that's going to be a signal for all of us to stand, for all of us to rise. Again, towards the bottom, middle half of the bottom of page 20, the words we say when we open up the ark, Vayehi Yitzhak. We're going to rise as we open up the ark. Everybody can stand up. Sadie opens up the ark.
ויהי אהרון ויאמר משה, קומה אדוני ויחוסו אויביך וינוסו משונאיך מפניך, כי מציון תצא טהרה, כי מציון תצא טהרה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, L'amo Yisrael B'kedushato.
As we continue on page 29, as we take the Torah out of the ark now, and as Lacie's going to hold the Torah, on page 29, she's going to say the Shema, and we're going to repeat after her in echo.
Shema Adonai, Adonai, Shema
Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai hagedula, hagedura, hatiferet, v'hanetzar, v'hahod. Ki kol hashamayim u'va'aretz, ki kol hashamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, v'hamid na'aseh lechol rosh romimo, 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 romimo. Adonai Eloheinu, v'hishtachavo, v'hishtachavo, le'adon raglav kadoshu, romimo, romimo. Adonai Eloheinu, v'hishtachavo, v'hishtachavo, le'har kadsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
Please be seated, everyone. So now, the tradition we have is for, in the afternoon, to read from the Torah portion, the section of our Torah that we're going to be reading all throughout the next week, through tomorrow, through next Saturday morning. So this Torah portion, Parshat Balak, comes from the last part of the book of Numbers. In the last few weeks, we've been reading through Bamidbar, through Numbers, and in the last week's portion, the last couple of weeks, we've read about how the Israelites have made a lot of mistakes in the wilderness. They've done a lot of things to upset Moses, to upset God. We read a couple of weeks ago about how they sent in spies, and the spies came back with a report that scared everybody, and they didn't want to go in. And now in this week's portion, as we kind of catch up with their wanderings and their struggles, this has actually got well, the part that Lacie's going to be reading from is a really nice and very beautiful part of the Torah, where, as she's going to teach us, there is an incident in the Torah, in Numbers, where we have a person who's meant to curse us who ends up blessing us. And as I mentioned at the beginning, this is where the words matovu, how beautiful are our homes, our dwelling places. And this is the part that Lacie's going to be reading from, the very, very beginning parts, the very first verses of Parshat Balak, and that's the name of the king who hires Balaam, the prophet, to curse us. And so this is the part that she's going to be reading from, the setup to this story, the beginning of this story. And she's going to call up to help her some very special people with the blessings. And for the very first set of blessings that we're going to have, the first two aliyot, we're going to call up some special cousins in her life. And so for the first aliyah, for this very first reading, we want to call it Gabby and Sarah Ritter for this first aliyah.
Talmud Rishon. Baruch Adonai Borach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Borach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torto. Baruch atah Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. That way.
So as we come to the second reading, the second part of the Torah that Lacey's going to be reading from, we want to call up her cousins Kevin and Lauren Miller.
Yamdu Sheni, please come to this side. Thank you.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vaishla Malachim El Bil'am Ben Be'or Petorah Asher Al Hanahar Eretz B'nei Amor Likrolo Lemor Hinei Aviatza Mimitzrayim Hinei Hisan Et Ein Haaretz Vehu Yoshev Mimuli Ve'ata Lehana Arli Et Ha'am Hazeh Kiatum B'mimeni Ulai Uhona Kepo Ba'agarshenu Min Ha'aretz Kiadati Eid Asher Tevarech Nevara Bashor Ta'or You are Vayalachu Ziknei Moab Vaziknei Midyan Ukasamim Be'adam Vayadabru Elai Divrei Balak
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam natan be'kolinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
I want this guy on my team.
He's already on my team.
Okay, now it's time.
So as we come now to the final part of the Torah, the third Aliyah, this is the part that Lacey's going to say the blessing over herself as a bat mitzvah. And again, she was only going to do the kind of like the very, very small part of the last reading. That this is what she would do. Of course, she did some other readings as well. So today, as Lacey's officially called as a bat mitzvah to read from the Torah, we call her up now by her Hebrew name.
Ta'amod, ta'amod, habachur habat mitzvah, Libya. Is that right?
Yeah.
Bat mitzvah, chazak, chazak. Where's the horoscope? Touch right there. Touch with your tongue. Open your front. Touch with the towels. You got it.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam
Mazel tov. Mazel tov, 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 mazel tov. Yehelanu, yehelanu, Kula Kol Yisrael. 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 Mazel tov, mazel tov.
So we're now going to lift up the Torah and show everybody the part of the scroll that we just read from. And for that honor of lifting up the Torah, we want to call up, and to help us dress the Torah, we want to call up Aunt and Uncle, Dana and Justin Miller, if you come up right now for this aliyah.
I'll come back.
When we open up the Torah and lift it up now for everybody to see, we're going to ask everybody to rise, to stand one more time as we show everybody the part of the Torah that we just read.
Vezot HaTorah asher sham Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe.
Yes, and for dressing it, we want to call Jerry and Gloria Schneider, the grandparents, to help us with this honor. Actually, we're going to give one of you this.
Which way does the band go?
I'm going to try to get out of your way.
Wrap the belt around the middle.
Right around the waist. There you go.
Goes on top, like a dress.
Which
Facing you.
Right there.
Facing you.
What you're doing.
Facing me.
Yeah. And now we're going to ask to help us by opening the ark so we can put the Torah back up into the Aron, back up into the ark. We want to call up now grandparents Jackie and Gary for this honor of returning our Torah back to the ark. And on page 34, we're going to continue. We're going to continue on page 34 with the words that we sang when we returned the Torah back to the ark. At the bottom of page 34, the Torah is our Eitz Chaim, our tree of life.
Hayim hi lama chaziki ba v'tom keha meushar v'racheha dakei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom Hashivenu Adonai elecha Nashuva Kadesh, Kadesh Yameinu, Kadesh Yameinu, Yekedem.
Please be seated, everybody. Now that Lacie has read so beautifully from her Torah portion and from help us hear the Torah, we're going to take a moment. She's going to now teach from the Torah. She's going to take a moment to give her Devar Torah, to give these words inspired by this week's Torah portion. All right, Lacie.
Good afternoon and Shabbat Shalom to those who could be here in person and those viewing online. Although this is certainly not how I imagined my Bat Mitzvah service when I began planning 6 months ago, I am accepting of what it has to be, and I feel so blessed that this service is happening at all. I would like to thank each of you who is taking time from your busy life to share this moment in time with me. During this very uncomfortable time in all of our lives, I was having a bit of difficulty figuring out where to start this speech. I sat in my room looking on the internet and occasionally asking, Alexa, how do I write my Bat Mitzvah speech? I wanted to write this my way, and this is what I came up with. Part of being a Bat Mitzvah is to study, read, and discuss a portion of Torah, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible. This week's Torah portion is assigned based on the Hebrew calendar. It is non-negotiable. Understanding and learning about this section of the Torah was difficult because understanding and interpreting a story written thousands of years ago and finding relevance to our lives today requires finding analogies to current life. It took a while. It took discussions with Rabbi Blitzer, my teachers, and parents, but I believe that I was able to find a concise way of discussing and talking about this week's Torah portion. So let's get into it. The section of the Torah which I read, learned, and studied is about King Balak of Moab, a region in the Middle East now referred to as Jordan. A sorcerer named Balaam, an angel, a donkey, and God. King Balak wanted to convince the sorcerer Balaam to use Balaam's unique ability of speaking God's words for others to hear in order to convince people that God wanted to curse the Jewish people. But Balaam can't do this, for Balak, as Balaam can only use his voice to echo the words of God, but not modify his words. Within this section of my assigned Torah portion, there's a section which I find kind of funny and reminds me of the donkey from Shrek. Donkey, for those who have seen Shrek, is not the most obedient of animals, and Donkey has a mind of his own. In my Torah portion, as Balaam is heading down the road riding a donkey, being escorted by King Balak's messengers, God is angry with Balaam for going to try to desecrate the Jewish peoples on behalf of King Balak. And so, God sent an angel of the Lord to stop Balaam in his tracks. While heading down the road, the angel, which at the time could only be seen by the donkey, attempts to block their way, preventing them from continuing on their journey. The donkey sits down in the road and refuses to move. Wait, I think I may have already lost some of you here, and some of you who are viewing online. You are the people who are closest to me, who know me, and know that standing up here and giving a boring speech just isn't me. So let's be interactive. Let's make you smile and turn this into not a lecture or speech, but more like a mini play. So underneath random seats here in the synagogue, there are highlighted scripts. Instead of explaining my Torah portion, let's play it out. Please look under your seats. If there's a script there, then you will have a part in the reenactment. So please reach under. If you find a script, please hold it up so we make sure we know who our cast is. If for some reason you are not comfortable participating or unable to, please find someone who is able to take your script and play this particular role. Let us begin reenacting this portion of Torah with me and turning this Torah speech into a Torah performance. Please speak up loudly so that others in the synagogue can hear you and so that those viewing on Facebook Live can hear you too. So the story begins.
I need you 3 to ask Balaam to do a favor for me.
Okay, we will travel to ask Balaam.
So the 3 men went to Balaam to ask him to do a favor for Balak.
Balaam, we ask a favor of you. We come in request of King Balak.
What do you ask of me? A curse, a blessing, magic?
Balak asks for you to curse the Jewish people. Will you do it for the king?
I will let you know after I ask God's permission.
Balak's 3 men leave and wait for Balak's response.
God, will I be able to go with these men to help the king curse the Jewish people?
No, you are not allowed to go with these men. So Balaam broke the news to Balak's men.
This time I will send my men, but I will offer gifts to Balaam.
So Balaam sent his men again. This time Balak accepted his request, but he can only speak the words that God puts in his mouth. On the way there, while riding his donkey, an angel blocks the path, but only the donkey can see it. The donkey moves to the side so that she won't bump into the angel. Then Balaam beats her. Then the angel moved in front of the donkey again. Then she moved again. This then led to the donkey being beaten again by Balaam. Then the angel completely blocks the road and the donkey bows down. Balaam becomes furious, beats the donkey again, and then God allows the donkey to speak.
What have I done that you've beaten me 3 times? You have made me look like a fool. If I had a sword, I would kill you right now.
I have been the donkey that you have been riding this whole time until today. Have I been in the habit of doing things like this?
No.
Then God opened Balaam's eyes to see the angel. Balaam then bowed down to the ground.
Why have you beaten this donkey 3 times? I am the reason she moved to the side, for your behavior is obnoxious to me. If she had not moved, you would not have been able to beat the hill.
I beat her because I did not see you. If you still disapprove of my behavior, I will turn back and forget about the request.
No, you can still go, but you cannot be the only say that the Lord will tell you.
Balaam has now made it to Moab and has met up with the king.
When I first invited you, you said no. Why? Am I really unable to reward you?
Now that I have come, I do have the power to speak freely. Or do I have the power to speak freely? I can only utter the words of God, that God puts in my mouth. You must build me 7 altars with 7 rams and 7 bulls ready here for me. Stay here besides your offerings. Maybe God will grant your wishes. Then whatever is told to me, I will tell you.
Return to the left and tell him this.
So Balaam spoke the words he was told to Balak. Thus he ended up blessing the Jews.
I shall ask again. I shall ask again. Go ask God again to curse the Jews.
So Balak set up the 7 altars with 7 rams and 7 bulls again in a different location. Balaam left to ask God yet again.
Return to the left and tell him this.
Again, Balaam ended up blessing the Jews. Balak asked one last time.
I shall ask one last time. Go ask God to curse the Jewish people.
Balak set up 7 altars with the 7 rams and bulls one last time in a new location, while Balaam left to ask God one last time.
Return to the left and tell him this.
So one last time, Balaam spoke the words from God. However, this time he did not bless the Jews. He cursed Balak. That concludes my Torah portion. Thank you all for participating. The primary lesson I learned from this story is that the Jewish people are loved by God, as he loves all people. This is such an important lesson, especially with all that is happening in the world these days. The Torah portion explains how the Jewish people are protected by God. Our ancestors fled from the oppression within Egypt, and with God's help, our people have managed to keep our religion alive despite horrible and intensely challenging conditions throughout history. Many attempts to harm or kill Jewish people and communities, and of course the most notable genocidal attack during the Holocaust. God will do everything possible to protect us when others are trying to harm us. Reaching this point where I am able to stand in front of all of you feels incredible. I have learned, studied, and prepared for this moment for 7 years. Hebrew school, religious school, and studying for this bat mitzvah has reinforced me that I can work hard towards a goal, put time and effort into something that is very important to me, and that I have what it takes to not only become a bat mitzvah, but anything in life. Growing up, I was so excited to have a bat mitzvah, mainly for the party, which unfortunately I cannot have due to the current world situation. I didn't realize that it would take so much time and effort, but I'm glad that it isn't just a party. It is part of me. Jews have been completing this tradition for millennia, and now I'm joining my ancestors, relatives, in the Jewish community and becoming a bat mitzvah. Now comes the part of my speech where I take a solid 15 minutes thanking all of you. Okay, that's not entirely accurate, as this whole speech would take a good 24 hours to complete. I know many of you didn't understand a single word of what I said during the Hebrew portion, but that's fine, because what really matters is that you are all here, in person and online, to support me during this milestone in my life. I'd first like to thank my friends. Some of you I haven't even known for a full year, but I invited you because you share a special place in my heart. I really thought that you wouldn't be able to attend, but I am overwhelmed with happiness that you were able to come. And for those of you watching online, I miss you and wish circumstances were different. But since they aren't, thank you for doing what you could to support me by watching from home. Though it might frighten me that there are so many people watching me online, it also fills my heart with joy that you can be part of this memory. So thank you again. Next comes all the people who are like family. All of you saying that I'll be fine was definitely helpful. During my 5-month study period, I have truly learned a lot. Everyone that has helped me get here today, I can't thank you enough. My family, there isn't much to say, so let's move on. Okay, you're my family. It's kind of your job to be there for me. Okay, I'm joking. Mom and Dad, there is no way to put into words how much you have done for me over the course of my lifetime. No matter how many times I screwed up, no matter where my emotional roller coaster was, you were always there standing beside me. I can't even express the amount of gratitude that I have for you. If it wasn't for you two, there was no way I could be standing up here doing what I am right now. Mom, going dress shopping for all the special events in my life are all memories that I will cherish to this day. Your patience and support was always there for me when I needed it most. Dad, even though you are a little overprotective, I wouldn't want my dad to be any other way. I look up to you so much. You have always been there for me. When I've needed you the most, you were always there to love and hold me. I know I've said this a lot, but I would not be who I am today if I wasn't for these two people who raised me and loved me the way parents should. Sadie, I can't think of anyone else to have as the perfect sister. I know you are the person who will be there for me even when I can't be there for myself. Before I had a sister, I wished I had a sister for as long as I can remember. I remember the day you were born. I remember rushing to the hospital to meet the little one that would spend the rest of my life with me. I remember walking into the hospital room and meeting you for the first time. I remember the first time I held you in my arms and fell in love with my baby sister. I can't thank you enough for always supporting me and loving me for who I am. I would also like to thank my aunt, cousins, uncles, grandmas, Nana, Grandpa, and many others for all the support you have given me when I really needed it. It is the real reason that I'm standing up here. Even though I might not have liked the studying process, I loved the experience. Last but certainly not least, I would like to thank my tutor, Maraz Sarah, Rabbi Mark Blazer, and all the teachers at Temple Beth Ami. If it wasn't for you taking your time to teach me about my religion and how to read Hebrew, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
So now we take a moment to have your family share some words right now, Lacie. So I'm going to call them up. Sadie is going to come up first.
I am excited because everybody's here for my sister's bat mitzvah. I hope my sister is very happy, and I am happy that everybody's here today for this time.
And now we want to call up your folks. Greg and Deborah, if you want to come up, Greg's going to go up first.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Mike, where's my script?
I don't know. I didn't hide it. I didn't even know where mine was.
Version 23.2. Ready for this?
As I'll ever be.
Good afternoon. Thanks to everyone here in the synagogue and watching online in support of Lacie as she became a bat mitzvah. I knew that I'd be standing up here to speak to Lacie and all of you, but I did forget my glasses, which I'm realizing now. But of course, several months ago, none of us could have imagined that it would look quite like this, with critical family members absent due to health considerations, friends unable to attend due to the real concerns over the health ramifications of attending an event and how their attendance might affect other members of their household, inner circles of friends and family. As much as we were looking forward to a big party, dancing, lots of friends, close and distant relatives coming, and other people who were important to Lacie and our family, we had to be realistic and remember that a bat mitzvah is not part of Judaism so that our children can have a party with a chocolate fountain, tons of food and sweets, staying up late and receiving gifts. Rather, it's a time where Jewish children become Jewish adults and bear their own responsibility and guidance for Jewish ritual law, tradition, and ethics, and are recognized as being able to participate in all areas of the Jewish community's life, and that is the reason we are here. Our goal all along was for Lacie to have the best experience possible, and I'm grateful for what we are able to do for her here today. I'm not the only one. I can do that too. With both family and friends in attendance and many others viewing remotely online, the journey to today has been long and has taken more than half of Lacie's life. It has not been easy, and she was required to attend Sunday school on the weekends as well as after-school classes on Thursday to learn Hebrew. But she's excelled and put in a lot of hard work, and most importantly, she embraced her Judaism wholeheartedly, bringing her to this moment in time, her moment to become a bat mitzvah. Lacie is quite the young lady. When she was born in July of 2007, she was nothing short of amazing. She entered this world and took our lives and turned it from where we had been heading and plotted a new course for the Jelin family. Personally, I used to live to work, often being gone for 120 hours straight as a paramedic, and then just coming home to figure out when I was going to work again. But on July 30th, 2007, my life changed in ways I could not have possibly imagined, and it immediately became about working to live and doing everything I could for my wife and child. Lacie and Deborah inspired me to be less career-focused and more centered on being with my family, with my wife and child. For that, I feel blessed beyond words. I've experienced opportunities in my life and created memories that are what life is all about. From our early baby routine of bath, bottle, books, and bed, to our now adjusted eating time routine of snuggling up with our favorite shows, on the bed and being together, laughing together, and snuggling with one another. From taking her to gymboree classes to sliding down the big slide at Scooter's Jungle, from getting up in the middle of the night to quietly feed her bottle, to walking with her to school, and to teaching her how to ride a bike. These are memories we embrace being a family. And Lacie first, then Sadie, has turned that part of our lives into something we look forward to each day and strive to create as often as life will allow us to. Lacie Zahara was named to honor 3 incredibly special people, whose qualities we hoped would become part of who Lacie is. The Ellen Lacie was chosen to honor her maternal great-grandfather, Lawrence Schneider, a great man who meant the world to Deborah. Lacie's middle name, Zahara, was chosen in honor of my mother, Joanne Jelin's father, Zachary Rotman, as well as our cousin, Zachy Gordon, whose life ended much, much sooner than it should have, and who possessed traits and qualities we can only hope that Lacie will gain throughout her life. At this time, our plan seems to be working. Lacie Zahara is articulate, intelligent, talented, creative, beautiful, hilariously funny, an incredible writer, and more importantly, a loving and caring human being. Every night in our home, no matter what has happened during the day, Lacie comes to our room, snuggles up with us in our bed, rests her head on us, and just holds us while we at the same time hold her closely. Every night. Those quiet times, and so do we. Lacie loves her parents and her sister Sadie, and we certainly love her with all of our hearts. As she grows up, and by the way, we're on page 6 of 13, so Lacie loves her parents and her sister Sadie, and we love her with all of our hearts. As she grows up, as with every other child beginning their transition to young adulthood, there are new challenges. However, as a family, we're working hard to address them and remind ourselves, and Lacie, that we must remember the tenets of Judaism, the commandments, the fundamental Christian principle of being kind, loving, and respectful to each other under the watchful eye of God. And although in a very, very, very rare instance, there might be a little family drama in our lives, we are quite cognizant of just how blessed we are that Lacie, as well as Sadie, are here to be our daughters and for Deborah and I to be their parents. As Lacie grows both physically, emotionally, societally, and as a member of this community, we are proud that she has developed into someone who is kind and loving, and that she, without even thinking about it, accepts people for who they are and embraces diversity. Lacie develops opinions, relationships, and friendships based on other people's character traits and who the people really are on the inside, exactly the way we all should see each other in this world. As with every parent of a child Lacie's age, there is some pushback and posturing that's inherent to development at this time of her life, but overwhelmingly what we see daily is that our Lacie is full of love, openness, selflessness, and kindness. Whether it be spending her recess and lunch to become friends with and work with the special needs children, like her friend Riley at Stevenson Ranch, or using her lunch period in middle school to get together with her friends to make blankets to give to those in need. To her close relationship with her friends, Lacie has a beautiful heart, a brilliant and caring mind and soul, and is beyond exceptional in myriad ways that will benefit those who are now and who are going to be fortunate enough to know her during her and their lives. Lacie is the one who wished year after year for a baby brother or sister for her birthday present. It was only with Lacie's support, hopes and wishes, our friends and family support, and God, that Sadie Juliet, our daughter and Lacie's sister, became a part of our family on July 29, 2013. when Lacie was 5 years and 364 days old. Sadie born just 5 hours before Lacie's birthday, a true birthday gift, just a little early. Lacie's birthday wish and mine and Deborah's, along with our family and friends, did come true. Sadie is a miracle in so many ways, and we love her with all of our hearts. But because this speech is primarily about Lacie, we will reserve this rest for that story in about 6 years from now when it's Sadie's turn up here as a bat mitzvah. But suffice it to say that without Lacie's love and support, openness and belief that she was going to have a baby brother or sister, Sadie would not be right here in the front row, blessing not only the three of us, but also each of you here and online, her family, as well as this community and all the people that Sadie gets to interact with on a daily basis. Lacie, thank you for helping bring Sadie into our lives. We are forever grateful. You are my daughter, my partner in comedy in the house, and the source of immeasurable pride and eternal love in my heart. Growing up in a world full of text messages, instant information, and constant digital distraction is changing how people relate to one another in person. Regardless of that, I hope that you know that one thing that both your mommy and I hold true forever and always is that our personal interactions with you, our loves and hugs, our snuggles, and being with you in person is the greatest source of joy and pride we can possibly feel as parents. We, along with your family, friends, teachers, and counselors, have helped you become a strong, brilliant, funny young lady with a beautiful and welcoming soul. The world needs more people like you. People who see people for who they are in the areas that are truly important. Lacie, you welcome others in your life with open arms, not from 6 feet away, but with a warm hug, a corny joke, a little dance move, and a giggle. You already make a tremendous difference in so many people's lives, bringing joy and love to your family and friends, pride to your rabbi and teachers from this temple, within your school, and most recently your dance studio. And you will continue to make a difference for the rest of your life. You may be just 12 years, 10 months, and 28 days old right now, but your wisdom reaches far beyond that. My hope for you is that you continue to grow as a daughter, sister, friend, and student, and valued member of this society, spreading your love for others everywhere you go, and making a difference not only in your own life, but more importantly in the lives of others. You will leave this synagogue today as a fully recognized member of the Jewish community, and hopefully lead your life according to the rules of society, your household, your faith, and under the watchful eye of God. Make smart decisions, make healthy decisions, and know that without a shred of doubt that all of us here and all of us viewing online have been impacted by you in ways that cannot even begin to be calculated. Society has been impacted by you as well and will continue to in the months and years to come. Your contributions to this world have yet to be decided, but they will be remarkable, and that's for certain. Lacie Zahara Jelin, Levia Zahara, I am so proud of you and honored and humbled that I was chosen to be your daddy. Congratulations on an incredible accomplishment. I love you, Bear, forever and always. Awesome time, I love you.
As I stand here today, my heart is filled with happiness. I can't express enough how grateful I am to have you all here, whether virtually or part of the small group in the synagogue with us to celebrate Lacie's bat mitzvah. As we have shared today, the bat mitzvah celebrates a young woman about to turn 13, coming to a crossroads of moral and spiritual decision-making. Mitzvah meaning commandment or connection. We celebrate as a community, a family, and friends in order for Lacie to draw meaning and make connection. This transition in her life as she becomes a teenager, reflecting on her religious foundation, her values, as she continues on the adventures of life. Dear Lacie, today is the day, your last few days of being 12. July 30th, you will turn 13 years old. You will officially say goodbye to your childhood and will be considered a teenager. This has been some of the fastest 13 years of my life. You are my firstborn, the child that made me a mom. You are the one that blessed me with my first pregnancy. The one who we swaddled tightly, gave you a pacifier, and played Disney lullabies to nightly. The one who I cried inconsolably for when I had to return to work when you were only 6 months old, and we took you to kindercare. Your dad and I cried again daily for a month, every morning, when it was time for you to go to Sunshine for preschool, as you waved and blew kisses through the window, excited to learn and play in the penguin room. From your first UCLA football game when you were just 8 weeks old, the basketball games and gymnastics meets in Poly, your smiling face always up on the Jumbotron. 5 years of UCLA Junior Spirit Squad capturing pictures with Joe and Josie Bruin. You have always been the one to friend every puppy and dog you've seen. The little girl who would play with and help all the younger kids around. Always dancing, singing, and accessorizing your outfits for every theme day. And just like Miss Val always says, life is short, don't wait to dance. Your love for reading, writing, learning, fun facts, and determination to excel in school is admirable. You are independent and yet such a girly at heart. You are creative, sensitive, and driven. Your sense of humor and big heart is contagious. I am not perfect and have made many mistakes. I wish I did not lecture you so much. I wish I was a little more patient. I wish I was less worried and more present in every moment. I wish I could take back all those moments that I was stressed with work or life and take a pause and just hug you. All of those moments, the good, the bad, the difficult, have shaped you. I hope you understand that what you say is important to me, and I really do care about you more than anybody. I am your biggest fan. I promise you I will continue to show up for you at every dance recital, school event, or just in general, even when you say you don't want me there. I'm sure I will continue to indulge you with Starbucks, though I probably should not. Please know that I will always be tough when needed, and that you will not always like me. You will want to jump up and down and scream at me. It will be okay. I still love you. So here are 10 pieces of advice. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Your family and true friends will accept you for who you are. Be confident, believe in yourself, and do everything with grace. Don't set limits for yourself. Break down boundaries. In everything you do, remember there is a reaction for every action. Avoid participating in the gossip. Look for the positive and accept change. Sometimes life will be hard, but you will persevere. Know who your true friends are. It is okay to let go of people and move on. Not everyone is meant to take the next step with you in your journey. Always be kind, compassionate, and loyal. Be nice to your little sister Sadie, and continue to include her in your life even when you don't want to. She will always look up to you as your big sister. You have a rich heritage. Be proud of it and your culture because it contributes to who you are. And continue to be passionate about everything you do and always be the best Lacie you can be. And P.S. Listen to your parents. There may be times you think we don't have your best interest in mind, but we always do. Happy Bat Mitzvah. I'm so proud of you. Love you forever, my Lacie bear.
We have some special readings and dedications. I want to call up first Vaughn Ailman and Rich Jameson, family friends, for reading.
This will be quick. Give the parents the time. Lacie, wishing you many blessings as you celebrate this special day with your family and friends. I'm so happy and honored to be present with you for this huge milestone. It's crazy how time flies. I can still remember spending some quality time with you, sleepovers, playing games, lots of laughing, little homework, and of course, sneaking in a little trip to McDonald's, sorry parents. We've also had some great times at UCLA football games, gymnastic meets, movie dates, and of course, our favorite activity, tea time.
Okay, sometimes it makes us sad to think the bright, sharp-witted young girl we once knew is now growing up into an energetic, mature, and pretty young lady before our own eyes. You're remarkably intelligent, genuinely caring, possess an amazing amount of spunk, and we cannot wait to see you develop into a truly distinct leader amongst your peers. Of course, she's born to be a leader, right? During this brand new chapter of life. We love you very much, Lacie. Mazel tov.
Now we want to call up for a reading. School friends, Annie and Ella, yes, come up for this.
I'm not running away.
Lacie, I've only known you for about a year and a half, but I feel like I've known you my whole life. You joined our friend group in 6th grade and we have been best friends ever since. We have so many fun memories together that I wouldn't trade for the world. You are unique in the best way possible and the sweetest, most kind-hearted person that I know. I feel like I can always depend on you and tell you anything. You are genuine, kind, honest, humble, giving, and we always have fun together. I can't remember us ever having an argument. We seem to agree on everything. You are one of the smartest, nicest, bravest people I know. I hope we'll be best friends for our entire life. Lacie is the sweetest, most caring person I've ever met. She'll always be there for you no matter what, and she always makes everyone's day better. Every time I see her, I know I will have a good time, no matter what. I will be happy when I see Lacie. She finds a way to make everyone enjoy themselves no matter what. Without her in my life, it wouldn't be as fun. Even in lockdown, we've baked cookies together, we've done a workout together, we've even done dances together over FaceTime. She even taught me how to tap dance in my driveway, and so much more. Even from 6 feet apart, she makes my life better. Whenever Lacie walks into a room, all of the lights come on. She truly lights up a room with her presence, and when she leaves, all of the lights dim. She makes everyone around her so happy, it's like she has an unlimited supply of happiness and chooses to share it with the world. Honestly, I don't know what I did to deserve her in my life. She's an absolute angel and gift to the world. She makes me happy every day without fail. I consider myself one of the luckiest people on the planet because I'm able to call her my best friend. She's truly changed me for the better. She's made me realize what being a good person really means, and she inspires me every day to be the best version of myself. I wouldn't be the same person without her in my life. She taught me that it's okay to laugh at myself because everyone's a little crazy sometimes. I don't have to be perfect because in reality, perfection doesn't exist. Ultimately, Lacie is the most amazing person on the planet and she makes the world a better place every day.
So Lacie, now we take a moment on behalf of our congregation, our community, Temple Beth and me. We have some special gifts that we have for you. And from our sisterhood, we have a set of candlesticks that are now part of you lit candles last night for everybody on our Zoom Shabbat service, which if you didn't get to see it, you can watch it. It's up on our Facebook page, which is where a lot of people, we have about 30 people watching right now. Actually, more than that, because it's 30 different computers or phones watching, so maybe about 40 or 50 people that are also watching us right now. And so when you led that service last night, which is beautiful, and it'll also be up, by the way, on YouTube probably tonight. It'll be up on our Temple Bethany YouTube channel so that people can watch that anytime. They'll be able to watch it. And with YouTube, you can watch it on a big TV too. They can watch it. And you did a great job leading a service that was difficult under the circumstances. You did a beautiful job. People could hear your voice, which is really, really special. And it made the Shabbat service last night wonderful, a wonderful experience for everybody. So we have the candles for Shabbat, and we also have a Tanakh from our men's club. We have the gift of your own Tanakh, your own Bible, which has your Torah portion, which you also today have read so beautifully from. And one of the things that is in your Torah portion, as you said, is the blessing that Balaam ends up giving to the Jewish people, the Israelites. And what's so interesting about it, and we sang Matovu at the beginning, is that these words, which were originally meant to be a curse, become a blessing. And it's interesting, of course, Balaam was not an Israelite, he wasn't Jewish, but his words became part of our prayers. So it also teaches us that you never know where these blessings are going to come from, even from people who might have been our enemies. Which also is a really important lesson today, which is that sometimes, and especially over the last few months, we've had a lot of difficulties, we've had a lot of challenges. People are definitely under a stressful time right now, people of all ages. And there's a lot of, it's been tough. But we can also take those challenges and turn them into blessings. And one of the things that you did today is turn this challenge into a blessing. And so that we have people around the country and around the world that are watching you right now who otherwise wouldn't have necessarily been able to be a part of this. So Lacie is the first bat mitzvah young person to have a service under these circumstances, with the first time we've ever televised live a bar bat mitzvah, or streamed a bar bat mitzvah for a young person. We had our adult b'nai mitzvah 3 weeks ago, and believe it or not, some of the people that are watching right now are some of the women. We had 5 women that went through that experience, and some of them are watching today, because you're the next person to be reading from that Torah. And then in about a little over a month, your friend Avery's going to be reading from the Torah, and she'll be able to have that experience too. And so by then, we'll have it a little bit more down, the system of how we're going to do this. We're still experimenting and trying to figure out how to do it. But again, you've led the way, and that's something that you'll always be able to take with you, that you were the first person to have a bat mitzvah with this kind of hybrid experience. And we hope that eventually people will be able to not have to worry about wearing masks and doing those kind of things when they come into a synagogue. And we hope and pray that there'll be a cure, a vaccine soon for this illness. But again, there always will be challenges, and there always will be opportunities that you have to turn into blessings. And so today, we're actually going to give you a blessing. I want to call up our Chazan, Kenny Ellis, to help us with this blessing. So today, as you became a bat mitzvah, I have your certificate of bat mitzvah, which says here that you are welcomed as a responsible member of the Jewish community. And as you read from Parshat Balak, and so just as there were blessings in that Torah portion, there's a special blessing from the same book of the Bible, from Bamidbar, from Numbers. This is a blessing that we give you now as a bat mitzvah. We give this on behalf of everybody here, on behalf of those outside of this building right now, on behalf of those of blessed memory as well, the previous generations. We give you this blessing now as a bat mitzvah. May God bless you and protect you. Light shine down upon you and be gracious to you. May God turn towards you as you turn towards others, giving you the blessing of wholeness, of completeness, of peace. Shalom. Kenny Hiratzon, may this be God's will. And we all say together, Amen.
Amen.
And one of the things that makes Lacie also a remarkable young woman, not just her voice and her poise, how big she's getting now, not even when she's standing on the step. She's just getting to be very responsible. But she is an amazing big sister to her little sister Sadie, who really looks up to her. And we're looking forward to that day when Sadie gets to celebrate her bat mitzvah as well, when she's going to take her place amongst our people as well. So we're going to continue and finish up with the last few blessings here today, which are, if you look on page 35 in your prayer book, in your Siddur, you'll have a chance to see this prayer that we say now on page 35 again. Aleinu, where we give thanks for our past, but we also look ahead to the future, to better days ahead, to a time when the world will be one, will be at peace. We ask you to rise for Aleinu on page 35.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשה מגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגאור עלינו כפועמונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We ask you to remain standing as we turn to the next page, to page 36 for Mourner's Kaddish. And as Lacie's father shared, some of the people that are here of blessed memory with us and preserved in Lacie's names. And we remember all of those of blessed memory now, people who passed in this last year, this last Shana, especially again, so many people that, so many families touched by loss just in these last months, but around the world. But we also remember at this time the yard sites, the losses at this time of year, previous years as well. But as we come to Mourner's Kaddish, we ask you to take those people into your hearts to think about them now and to thank God for their lives and to honor them with the words of Kaddish. Again on page 36, as we say Mourner's Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, וילמד יברח ירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיא. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן ביעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
The source of peace and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, and we say together,
Amen.
Please be seated, everyone. Ready? So on page 37, we're going to sing a song that Lacie likes a lot. And she led this last night on Zoom. We're going to do this now with her leading Adon Olam, which is traditionally one of the songs that we conclude with. And so she's going to lead it. We're going to respond after her with the chorus. Page 37, the bottom half of the page.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Le'et Nasa,
לעת נסע. אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון העולם. ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא אדון העולם. והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון העולם. אדון עולם, אשר מלך, בטרם כל, יציר נברא, לעת נסע בחפץ כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון העולם. והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה אדון העולם. בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמזרע אדון העולם. אדון עולם, אשר מלך, בטרם כל, יציר נברא, לעת נסע בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון העולם. והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה אדון העולם. והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום מקרא אדון העולם. אדון עולם, אשר מלך, בטרם כל, יציר נברא, לעת נסע בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון העולם. והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה אדון העולם. והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום מקרא אדון העולם. אדון עולם, אשר מלך, בטרם כל, יציר נברא, לעת נסע בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון העולם. ביעדו אפקיד רוחי, בעת אישן ביעירה אדון העולם. ואם רוחי גביעתי, אדון עלי ולא אירא אדון העולם. אדון עולם, אשר מלך, בטרם כל, יציר נברא, לעת נסע בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון העולם.
We want to wish Lacie Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov into her family. Mazel Tov, everyone.
Simen tov and mazel tov and mazel tov and simen tov and mazel tov and mazel tov and simen tov and mazel tov and simen tov. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulefo Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulefo Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulefo Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulefo Yisrael. Mazel tov, Lacie, mazel tov.
Again, we hope everyone stays safe and healthy and continue to protect each other. We'll give, again, everybody, that's it. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here and online.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.